So convoy, oh, sorry, for a moment I was waiting my translation because I just finished, another esoteric talk in Brazil, and they are translating me in Portuguese. So I was waiting, for the other voice, but obviously I don't need it this time. Convoy, my friends, welcome to everybody, and welcome to this opportunity to discover more about what we call the Mystery School, the probably the most complete path that we can offer outside of Damanhur. You know that obviously Damanhur is the place in connection with one of the source of the planet, one of the source that the Egyptian, they was used to say the source of the Nile. Well, in this case was not the physical Nile, but when we talk about the sources, we talk about places in which we can touch the knowledge, or at least where we can find back the knowledge that has been following the mankind since the beginning of this journey, the journey of the human divinity into the matter, into the forms. Obviously, tonight there are people that they never be part of the mystery school. There are also people that are being part of the mystery school. So I would love, first of all, to give probably a better understanding or a different understanding to what we call mystery and to what we call knowledge. Well, the concept of mystery, it is one of the principal elements of every esoteric path. Esoteric path, initiate path, we can call it in different way. But when we use the terms esoteric, is because we mention the spiritualization of the matter. Yes, the final goal, the final project that we mentioned several times during our courses, our esoteric talk, because it represents the entire spiritualization of the matter. Not only our individual enlightenment, that actually we mentioned with the spiritual physics, with the name metamorphosis, so the fact that we don't need to be incarnated anymore because we pass through all the experience, and all these experiences been transforming us not to be any more form, but to be energy, light. Well, the esoteric project, everything that is connecting to the esotericism, it's everything that is accelerating this process of the spiritualization of the matter. But in this case, not only for us, but for the entire universe of form. Not even only for this planet, because this is one of the important planets, point of life in the cosmos, in the universe of form, but obviously is not the only one. So in every initiate, in every esoteric path, the concept of the mystery, it is fundamental. Yes, it might sound, very different from the idea that the religion they brought to the concept of mystery. Because in religion, that mystery is the end. It is the point that you cannot go beyond. It's a mystery. God says that it's like this. Forget about it. Now, I'm obviously very, very synthetic in express this concept, but I'm pretty much, connecting to the real meaning of this. So the religion, they are dogmatic. So they consider the mystery as the end, the limit, the border that we cannot go beyond, because we are entering something that is not anymore about humans, but only for gods. Well, in the esoteric path, the mystery is taking a completely different understanding. Why? Because at the core of the initiate path, there is the knowledge. That knowledge that we're going to describe very soon as that knowledge that never change all over time and all over the history, in which the mystery is absolutely fundamental. Fundamental for what? To constantly go beyond, to constantly pull us to research, to go beyond what it might look a limit, an end. It is never an end. It is never a limit, or at least it could be an end and a limit for the level of understanding, for the level of knowledge that we have at this point. But through the knowledge, we can always go beyond. So in this case, the mystery is not becoming anymore a limitation, an end and stop, but is becoming actually a way to pull us in the direction to never stop, to constantly change, to constantly transforming our point of view, our perception of the reality, to be able to go beyond the mystery, beyond something that appear. And this is very much connecting to the form. Form is everything that is appearing, but everything is Maya. The universe of form is also called the Maya world. Maya in Sanskrit, it means illusion. So at the end, everything of this is illusion. All the form is an illusion. So only going beyond, we can find the truth. Only when we are going to spiritualize this matter, we are going to find the truth, to be the truth, to be that light that is the origin of everything. So the mystery is becoming the fundamental instrument to constantly bring us to change, transform, because this is the goal of the evolution, a constant transformation that are going to bring us and the universe of matter to becoming light. Obviously, I'm not saying that a mystery is something easy or understandable, or that we can accept, like this. No, the mystery is actually really bringing us to express the best, and also to create a dynamic that we are not very used to manage. A dynamic, if I can call it like this, that is called doubt. You probably heard about my expression of what is doubt, what are doubts. And you know that I'm a fan of doubts. Well, I don't know if really a fan, but I have definitely a very positive approach to doubts. Why? Because doubts, it is one of the fundamental elements of every spiritual research. Yes, spiritual research, the same one that is based to the knowledge, and the same one that is accepting the mystery as something that I still don't understand, that I still cannot get completely. So the doubt, it brings to use what? To bring that power that we call free will, the power of choices, the power that can bring us to become what? And this is the great difference between a religion. Yes, the religion, we are still human. We have obviously all the different interpretation of this, but we're human. And the mystery is really separating us from gods. No, every esoteric path, every initiate path is talking about the free will as the power, the possibility to become God again. And this is totally revolutionary in terms of spiritual path, because we talk about a divinity that is, of course, outside of us, the primeval human one, the one from where we come from into that place called the real. But we also talk about a primeval human divinity that is right here inside of us. So the mystery is the path that is guiding me to do what? To reawake my inner God, to become God, to re-become God, to reconnect to that God from where I came from, but with that awareness that is done by the transformation of the matter that brings this matter to become energy and light. So he is a God that is transcendent, but is also immanent. Is outside of myself, but is also inside of myself. So the esoteric path, the initiate path, will bring me to reawake this divine spark, this divinity that is inside of myself. Whatever now is your, let's say, understanding or feeling or meaning that you give to what is a divinity, we are here to become divine again. The big mirror, the need to be reconnected with all these little pieces of the mirror that is they are represented by all of us. So the free will is the only way to transform this matter, is the only way to reawake this God. So at this point, it's pretty obvious why we need the doubt. Because the doubt is that exercise, that dynamic, that situation that takes our free will to be used. Oh, yes. At that point, when we're doubting what is true, what is not true, do I have to go left? Do I have to go right? Do I have to do this? No, I have to do that. So we are all pushed to then make that decision, make that choice that is the expression of our free will. Obviously, about the free will, we can talk an entire evening because there is many different levels of expression of the free will. This is pretty obvious. I'm not talking about the free will when I'm looking to drink red wine or white wine, to eat pizza or pasta, okay? Obviously, when we talk about the free will, we talk about that moment in life in which my choices, they can definitely change my life. They can give a different direction to my life. And in the past, I've been using example like go and decide to do one job instead of another one. Deciding to live in that country or in that town instead of others. Get married, be with someone, creating a family. So all choices that obviously are going to change the direction of our of our lives. At the same time, the expression of the free will is directly connected to the level of knowledge that we are expressing. And this is pretty clear. More knowledge I have, more my choices, they are going to have a weight. They are going to have an effect, not only in my life, but also in the life of many other individuals. It's called responsibility, the responsibility of my choices that are directly connecting to the power. Yes, the power that I'm expressing into the matter. More knowledge. I know how things are. I know how they work. As more I'm responsible of my choices because I know how they work. So if I choose something or something else, this is going to have a completely different effect on me and not only on me. So as you see, the mystery is starting to be even more exciting at this point. It's becoming, yes, one of the guidance of every spiritual path that is connecting to what we call an esoteric path, an initiate path. In all of this, obviously, we need to have also other elements that are playing in this path. Well, we need for sure a good connection with what we call divine forces. In this case, I'm not talking anymore about the primeval human one, but we talk about that divine forces that are the one probably, or let's say not only probably, as I've been describing the esoteric talk, divinity that we humans create. Even if it's true, they also create humans, because there is also this kind of time paradox connecting to the divine forces. So we did first, but then they did later on, moving into time and then creating humans in other moment of time. But yes, we need a connection also, a good connection, I'm saying, related to this harmonic relationship between humans and gods, that we need so much to at least guide our incarnation. Yes, because as probably you understand, the path of the mystery, the path of the initiation, it is something that we are not choosing only one time. No, this is one of the tricks of our incarnation. I mean, I'm saying tricks, but sometimes I can also call it differently. Because here's the point. Even if I choose, and to tell you the truth, if you're here tonight and you're listening, all the things that I'm sharing with you, my friend, is because probably you've been already choosing a mystery path, an initiate path in another moment of time. Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. There's no random things in spirituality. All is synchronic. All is guided by something that goes beyond time and space. That field of possibility, of unlimited possibilities, that we call synchronicity. So for synchronicity, you're here tonight, okay? Of course, maybe it's your friends. Oh, for sure it's Jennifer that brought you here because you really cannot miss this appointment. Okay, there's many different reasons, but at the end, you're here, you're listening to me. So I'm pretty sure that you are just remembering something that you've been choosing in another moment of time. And this is what I was trying to tell you. The fact that choosing this path, choosing the path of the mystery, choosing the path that will bring us not only to enlighten, to metamorphosize ourselves, but then to be in the front line, active there, to do it for the entire universe of form. So a mission that goes much beyond the individual one, or that is going to be melt in the bigger mission of the mankind. Well, to do all of this, you have to choose it. You have to say yes. In Damanhur, we talk about the life of yes. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Of course, some of you is familiar with the terms Vine, but now let's just keep Vine for a moment in the corner and just stay to the life of yes. Also because this is one of the new possibility that recently we open also for everyone, is to research not only in your past life, but actually in the life of yes. So not only in the past life that are obviously crucial to give you a better understanding of who you are in this lifetime, to get the instrument to understand why you have so many talents, but also why you have some challenging, some issues in this life. But in this case, this is a very specific way to research about the life in which we said yes. Let me just express a little bit better what I say yes and why I have multiple life in which I have to say yes. Because the esoteric path need every time that we come back the confirmation. Yes, I say confirmation. But in other hands, in every incarnation, I have to say yes. Otherwise, well, oops, I can get lost in that life. Get lost doesn't mean that then you will not be able to do experience. I'm not saying that you will not be able to transform yourself, but say yes. It means to take the highway, It means to take the highway of your process to the enlightenment. Yep. The way of the mystery, the way of the initiation is something that is going literally to boost your evolutionary life. So that's the reason why in every incarnation, and it doesn't matter if before you was already so close like this to get enlightened, you have to say yes again. What it means? It means that in every lifetime, there's going to be a moment that is already part of the program of your life, of each of your life, of each of our life, in which the esoteric path, the initiate path, the mystery path will ring at the door. No, okay, it's not really that they're going to ring you at the door, but it's just a metaphor, obviously. Ring you at the door, it means that for synchronicity, you're going to be brought back in a point, in a situation, in an occasion, with people, with whatever, that will make you be in the position to say yes again to that initiate path. This is something that is, let's say, reserved, is almost a right that our souls, they get in every lifetime. Yes, my friend, what I'm telling you is that at least once in every lifetime, the opportunity to say yes, to enter into the mystery school, to enter in the way of the initiation is going to be offered to yourself every life. Obviously, as I said, the guarantee that we're going to take that opportunity or not, it's totally depending on us. So it's totally depending to our free will. So if we are, let's say, well directed, we are probably not going to miss that occasion. But one more time, there's no guarantee, because sometimes we can also say yes again, and then during a lifetime, abandon the way, let go, because that is the risk of the matter. We don't remember, and the free will, it's a great power, but it's also a great opportunity to do mistakes. Well, at this point, what are mistakes? Well, only that action that are not going to support our process of evolution, of transformation, of spiritualization of the matter. So all along our soul journey, and as many of you knows, this soul journey could be already pretty long. We might already have living hundreds of lives. And here is not a matter of quantity or instead of quality. This is really about what we are going to truly transform or not. The numbers of past life or the numbers of lives in which we are coming back are not for quantity a guarantee of more evolution. Nope. This is still connecting to a process that is based on the use of the free will. That means that I can choose or not to live what the life is offering me, karma or karma program. Karma in Sanskrit means action. So what I did will bring me now to live some other experience that they've been already programmed for this incarnation, for this lifetime. Occasion that they are of two kinds. The one that I choose, because I really wanted to live that life, do the job, living in the town, blah, blah, blah. So things that I choose to live. And then pretty often, the things that I didn't choose to live, but they are coming. They are happening in my life. Okay? Because we suppose that we have a control in our lives, but in reality, we don't control anything. We are just simply moving, surfing into the synchronicity. They're guided by that element that in spiritual physics we call complexity, evolution, will push everything that is happening in our life to be occasion to evolve, to transform the matter into light. So these different possibilities, these different events, these different things that are going to happen in our life that I choose or that they are simply happening in my life, they are occasion to do what? To transform myself. But I can be transformed or not. This is the reason why in life sometimes can happen that things are recurring, they are repeating. Oh, I'm always finding the same woman. Oh, I'm always in that situation in my business. Oh, I'm still repeating that situation with that pattern with my parents. Why this is happening? Because probably we didn't get what we have to get from this experience. So we didn't transform ourselves to then not repeat that experience. So I'm living it, but I'm not affected. Affected, it means that I'm changing my way of thinking, my perception of the reality that I'm living. So they're coming back and coming back and coming back until I'm not gonna get it. And this can happen in a lifetime, but can also happen in several lifetimes, incarnations. So all along our soul journey, yes, there are, number one, as I said, always the possibility to say yes, to come back into the initiate path, to the esoteric path, to the mystery path, to the highway that is going to accelerate everything. Because at this point, saying yes, you choose to dedicate not only this lifetime, but all your soul path, your soul journey to the realization of the transformation of the matter into light. So in every life, I can say yes again, or yep, get lost. How come I can get lost? I've been dedicating so many lives in this. But this illusion, this Maya world, it's so cool. It's so full of nice things. There's a lot of party, gin tonic, fast cars. Okay, I'm just saying, silly things, but just to make you better understanding what I'm talking about. It's easy to get lost. And again, even sometimes when you say yes again, life can change, priority can change. We can get lost because we, for sure, saying yes, we choose to challenge ourselves constantly all along this lifetime. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter what you did already, doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be challenged as much as possible to accelerate this process. Okay, let's take a deep breath, my friend, just to, let's say, digest all of this. So, as I said, if you're here, there is a reason why. You came to the temple, you visit the temple. Well, I cannot imagine how I would love to see you here, or maybe me coming there and see you in person. But coming back to Damanhur is always something extremely magic, because be in this territory, be in this source of information, of knowledge, it is nourishing every part of yourself. And going into the temple, visiting, meditating, experience the temple, it is a constantly way to, let's say, face the mystery. Probably you remember the temple is being built with a lot of secret passages. Now, let's say we use them a little bit less, but they are still existing, all of them. Why secret passages? Well, obviously it was for protecting the temple at the time in which the temple was only our temple, was our precious. That since the end of 1992 when the world became aware of the temple of humankind, well, everything changed. But even now, when you visit it, there are some access to some of these chambers that they are very much hide. Or you enter in a small room and it seems that there's no other passages. But in each of the places where there are some of these secret passages, there are indication, there are symbols, there are things that if you can read, if you can feel them, they are telling you that nope, that is not a limit, this is not an end, this is not a wall, this is something else. Is the metaphor of what we call mystery. Yes, what it seems an end, a wall that could be impenetrable, well, with the right understanding, with the knowledge that makes you give a different meaning to that wall, you might discover that wall is maybe a door that when it's going to open is going to let you access to a completely new environment, a completely new place, a completely new chamber. This is what metaphorically we've been translate in terms of mystery inside of the temple of humankind. And I'm sure that who has been visiting the temple knows very well what I'm talking about. Now entering a little bit more in what is the mystery school of Damanhur, because this is supposed to be the topic of tonight. And now that we give a better understanding of what is mystery and what it means also through our soul journey, I just want to bring you back to 2003, if I remember correctly, 2004. Well, at the time, I was at the head of that Daman organization that we call it Olami for a long time. So it was the same organization in which welcome office, university, guest houses, and everything that was related to the Damanhur in the world was united in the same, let's say, organization. I was at the head of this for a long time, and with the person in charge of the university, Antilope, we receive an input from Falco. And at that time, Falco was talking about an acceleration. Yes, some of you has been participating to many of our talk. So we already described the fact that the time that we are crossing, the time territory, as we used to say, it is pretty interesting. It is pretty challenging. It is pretty, as we say, flexible. It is being prepared a long time ago to be the time of a change, a time of a possible important shifting, not only in the consciousness, but truly also in the way of living, in the way we are, let's say, leading this world. And now with the COVID, it is pretty easy to, let's say, give a better understanding to what I'm saying to you, because it's true. The COVID, beside the fact, it is also in some moment a pretty challenging, dramatic moment with a lot of pain. It is, historically speaking, an event that is touching the life of all of us all over the world. That means that now and never before, we get the chance to make a global change in our way of living, individually, but also globally, in our society. In what it is now true, it is not true anymore. In what is valuable for us and what is not valuable anymore in our lives. So I see that we have a great opportunity and we don't have to miss this opportunity. Even if, my friend, probably we're going to be still in some bumping moment of time, for at least some more months. So expect some other news, some other situation, but stay always with this positive side of the road, the side in which we finally get back the possibility to change this world. Anyhow, so in 2003, 2004, Falco asked to me and Antilope, that at the time was the person at the in charge of the university, to start to prepare a different kind of programs, a different kind of path, because he needs an acceleration. In what? The acceleration into spreading into the world informations, knowledge. That means also techniques, instrument, possibilities that before there was only inside of what in Damanhur is what is reserved to the Damanhurians, so for who is living the community as the instrument to accelerate the path of enlightenment. Yes, because we choose to live in community, not just because it's fun to be all together and seems to be students again back at the university. No. Nope. No, we didn't choose to live in community just to have fun or to save some money. No, we choose to live in community because of the many different way, on the different way to, let's say, achieve metamorphosis, to achieve enlightenment. The others is one of these way. Yes, of course, there is also the way of the Buddha that is, going and meditating under the tree for all his life. But there is also a way in which you do this with the others, for the others. Community. That's the reason why we live in community. We choose to live in community, even if it's challenging, if it is blah, 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 because living with others, it means to be constantly in this mirror dynamic in which all the others are reflecting you, who you are, what you have to change, what is good, but still mostly what you have to transform of yourself. So he wanted that many, actually the majority, I don't want to say all, but a large part of this technique, possibilities, information, and so on, from the Damanhurians, they could be brought to everyone. And when I'm saying everyone, it's really everyone. So maybe you don't know me so much, or you don't know so much Antilope, but we've been always very, let's say, very connect to Falco and to the Falco's teaching. We are still considered a little bit the Taliban here in Damanhur because we are very stick to the Falco's teaching, his way of teaching everything, in a moment in which, obviously, with him on the other side, this has been, bringing many people also to theorize or to bring different, interpretation and etc. By the way, being so stick to Falco's original teaching, we start to create a path that could be, most of all, not only something that brings you to be in Damanhur. Yes, of course, some dynamic, some information, some energy, you need to come to Damanhur. It's true, Damanhur is still a source. You still need to be in the temple to be touched, to be transformed, some kind of energy that we cannot bring with us when we travel. But most of all, the majority of this experience, they've been connecting to things that we could brought into the place, into the territory, into the countries, everywhere. Because the spiritual path and the spiritual mission, it is not something that at this point it's only connecting to Damanhur or to the source of the Niles, to the source of information, where there are the meridians of the planet, where the synchronic lines are crossing together. No. Now this is a mission that is touching everyone in this planet. Why? Because we're crossing such an important moment of time in which who is in this planet are the souls, the selected souls that are at the right time, in the right place, to make all of this transformation happen. Yes, my friend, I'm talking about you too, about all of us. Doesn't matter. If I'm in Italy at the moment, you are in Florida, you are in Pennsylvania, you are in California, you are, I don't even know where you are. There is something unique, special, and important to do exactly where you're living, with the people that you are in connection, with the friends, with the family, with everything that is around yourself. That is the next step of this spiritual mission that is directly connecting to the entire planet. It is not Damanhur anymore, but it's Damanhur to inspire and to give the instrument that all of us we deserve to guide this transformation, whatever it means. Whatever it means in your life, whatever it means in your country, town, places, people, friends, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, we create a path based on all the seminars that Falco has been teaching at the time, and obviously some others that he was teaching only to the Damanhurians, with contents, with techniques, with information, only for us. And even trying to push us, over the limit of what we thought could be, correct to offer to everyone. When we give the first version of this work to Falco, Falco was not satisfied because he wanted more. He wanted that we really brought more. Almost everything was available to everyone. And even when we did that, he literally put possibilities, instruments, techniques that before there was sometimes even for the Damanhurians really rare inside of new classes, of new courses that he wanted in the mystery school. So at the end, the kind of result was pretty astonishing, at least for the time. Obviously, we in these last 17 years, we also adjust with him part of the different experience, part of the different classes, because there's been always an evolution in this. But until now, this is still the most complete path that we can offer really to everyone. Making both of the components together, components that are obviously what you can do in your territory. Actually, at this point, you can imagine that with the COVID, we've been rewrite almost the entire programs to be able to be taught on Zoom, at least on distance, because this is what we have at our disposal. And I mean, we have to say thanks to Mr. Zoom that creates Zoom, because otherwise we could not be here tonight together. So we rewrite everything to be able still to offer all the experience also on distance, but keeping the majority of the experience everywhere. So teach it everywhere, or in this case by Zoom, and still some classes, some experience in Damanhur. Yep, sooner or later, I mean, my friend, you're gonna come back, and at that point, it's gonna be so much fun, not always to have you back here in Damanhur, but also to bring you inside of the temple into that experience that only the temple can offer us. Now, path of the mystery school is based, as you know, in 3 years, 3 years in which in all of them we have 10 different seminars. Normally we talk about 8 seminars, again, that we can do everywhere, and 2 seminars that are very much something that, as I said, you need to do in Damanhur, into the temple. each of the 3 years. And to tell you the truth, we are now ready with the university to present also a 4th years, or a path that now, with the instrument that we have now, we can offer. And we can offer also actually with a very exciting goals, with very exciting, let's say task to accomplish during the years, because every year it's connecting to a different goal. The first year of the mystery school, the goal is really the rediscovering of yourself, as in the metaphor of the seed. We imagine all of us as seed that looking inside of themselves, they are trying to discover or to rediscover who we are, the talents, the possibilities, the knowledge, the unlimited potential that we need to bring back to awareness. So, like they said, the first year is looking inside and rediscover who you are, rediscover all of this. To then, in the second year, it's the blooming. The seed is opening finally. And we are, let's say, another individual, a new individual, with an awareness that before we didn't have. And with this awareness, we are starting to interact with what? Well, with the world, with the others, with the environment, but also with that energies, with that forces that are constantly interacting with us in these being bridge forms. So the fact that we are living here into the matter, but we are also constantly interacting with the threshold, with the beyond, with the invisible, with all that energy that they cannot be manifest by form, but through that senses, feeling, emotion, perception, that are the perfect integration, the metaphor of the bridge that we represent. The third year is the year of the mission, or at least the year in which we are starting to get elements that are going to help us to define, to discover the mission of this lifetime. Yes, we didn't talk so much, but the mission, it is definitely, let's say, the central point of every incarnation. The fact that we come back here every time with a specific unique goal, something that you and only you can realize, the mission of this lifetime. So the third year is all connected to what I just described now. Now, and I'm going to leave the last part of this meeting also to some questions, because I already see someone writing something over there. But I just want to give you also some hints about this sort of next step, this sort of fourth level, 4 years, because as I said, here there is also people that are already joining the mystery school, or that they already complete the mystery school. And thanks to the new possibility that we have now, let's say the fourth year, it's all based on, let's say, the mission of our soul during our time journey. That means that it's going to be based on the research of the life of the yes that are going to bring back us here in this lifetime. So this could be, let's say, generically the goal, the title of this fourth year, that it seems very, very excited, because it's not just going to be connecting to the research of this life in this planet, but it's also connecting to moment of time that they go beyond the time of Atlantis or the time of Atlantis, but they can also go beyond this planet, and they can go, to alien life and etc. Obviously, the kind of topic, the kind of classes that we have in the mystery school are connecting to topic with several levels, like the past life research with 5 levels of them, the spiritual physics with 3 levels of them, the astral travel with 3 levels, the inner harmonization with 3 levels, the ancient history of the humankind, again with 3 levels, but is also involving the dream path, the search of your personality, the transformation of your memory, the time seed, the inner senses, the microlines, the mission, the guidance of your emotions, and many other topics that are part of this journey that I hope we are going to do together, or that we're going to continue together. Now, I see Jennifer appearing, so it seems that it's time. When Jennifer is appearing, it's always a thrill because something is going on.
Okay.
And I'm sure that maybe there are some questions.
We have a hand up with Rob. Go ahead.
Hello there.
Hey, Rob.
I just really want to bring a complementary perspective to what you're saying. I want to add a few things and talk about briefly another way of speaking about things. So I see that everything with the mystery school, whether you're in the mystery school or outside of the mystery school, is being heart-centered and raising consciousness and awareness. And when that all blends, the S network that you're talking about works. I have attended many of your discussions, and you mentioned spiritualization of the matter. It's because we have the materialization of the spirit, the renunciation of the spirit, and the nullification of the spirit that's out there. And so that's that energy that we're dealing with. I like to say that I like to say no to that, as opposed to yes to the other part. And within this materialization part, there is this huge polarity part contained in the materialization part, which is what we all have to acknowledge and be non-judgmental about. Very difficult. And that's what I just wanted to, to say.
But I mean, I would say that I agree with you. And this is remind me something that Falco was repeating to us very often. To transform the matter, first, you need to know the matter very well. So you really have to dive into everything that the matter is offering to ourselves to do that, even with the risk to be fascinated by the matter. But the matter is not the enemy, because we know that the enemy is something else. So we have to discover the matter before transforming the matter. We can just, let's say, complete like this. Thank you, Rob. Jennifer?
Okay, do we have any other questions? There's a question in the chat that says, will the alchemy courses be available on Zoom in the future?
Well, it's a good question, because in any case, it gives me the chance also to briefly talk about the alchemy school and the School of Spiritual Healer that I don't want to forget in all of this. Obviously, as you can imagine, some schools like the alchemy one, in which there is a lot of element of practice, but also really alchemy element that they need to be prepared, transformed, used. Well, we are trying to find solution by distance, because obviously it is challenging for the teachers, for us to make this possible on distance. But definitely there is a work in this direction. So we hope that soon we can give you good news. Just to give you a possible sequence, because this is also a classical question that people are asking us about, but it's better if I do first alchemy, or then the mystery, or then the healing school, and etc. I mean, let's say an optimal sequence, it is what normally we always say: mystery, alchemy, and then the spiritual healers is always something that could be a side of all of them, because it's very much connecting to the use of your power, of your prana, of the prana that you can canalize to bring the most important process of transformation that is called healing. But this is something that obviously some people, they can feel, let's say, attract, and others maybe they could not. But that could be more or less the actual sequence of the schools. But don't forget that all of them, they are all focusing to the same, let's say, goal, with a different approach, obviously with instrument that we can learn better when we have some base that definitely the mystery school is giving to all of you. But they are all, let's say, coming from the same, let's say, route. My friend, convoy, and see you soon. Baci baci.